Yeah, my name is Shawn Hagerty. I'm the owner of Avante Telecom Solutions here in Golden, Colorado. We have offices here in Golden and in San Antonio. Here to talk about Paul Olsen and the work that he did for me in regards to selling my business. Actually, it's a pretty amazing story. So, what we do is we install structured cabling systems, security systems, surveillance, door control systems throughout the state of Colorado, Rocky Mountain region, as well as in Texas, as I mentioned before, San Antonio, Austin, Corpus Christi, those areas. We have about an average of about 50 employees, sometimes upwards of 150 employees, so right in there between 150 and 50 employees over 15 years. So we've been in business doing this type of work for 15 years. And in 2010 we had a tough year. We'd always been profitable and been gaining market share. But 2010 it was a tough year, so we looked at what we might be able to do to make changes and thought about selling the company, and that's how I got introduced to Paul. So Paul came in, told me exactly what he was going to do, how long it would take, and what my expectations would be. We agreed on a contract between him and I, and he told me it was going to probably look like about 3 to 4 months, and actually it got done in 30 days, which is completely amazing to me. So on January 1st, Paul was in here filming myself and the company and preparing the package to go out to potential buyers, and within just 10 days my phone was ringing off the hook. I had about 15 to 20 people that were interested right off the bat. Most of them really making full offers. Again, I was a bit surprised. I was thinking it would start out low and then build up, but it started out at the top. What a lot of the buyers had told me about the package is the fact that it was so professionally put together. The fact that the videos kind of displayed, you know, the environment, what we did. You know, they were able to get a kind of a sense of who I was, what we did, what our offices looked like. So many of them had commented that it was the best package they'd ever seen. So I think a lot of success is attributed to the fact that the video helped buyers get a good understanding of course, the company, and then myself as well. So, and Paul had, you know, when I sold the business, when I was starting to sell the business, I thought it was going to be just a complete grind on my time. That, you know, I still got to run the company, but selling it, I can't have all this time taken away from actually running the company. And what Paul did is he filtered those buyers. He only sent buyers to me that met my criteria of qualification of what my requirements were. So I didn't have any buyers that were, so to speak, going to waste my time, because I just didn't have time for it. So, you know, the other thing too is he had said that the way it would work is, you know, people were going to come in, and I had a concern about people coming in because I have staff here, and, you know, vendors or manufacturers, whatever. But I was more concerned about my staff, and what he was able to do was to be able to create the approach that it minimized those visits. There still were visits, and there needed to be visits, but the way we presented that and what kind of a pretext that was put into staff, the staff hasn't had any idea about what it is or who's coming through or why they're coming through. And the quality of the buyers that did come in to talk to me were all, I expected it to be maybe more of an adversarial thing, and it was completely the opposite. They were all professional. They were all professional business people. They were all polite. They were all courteous. They were all complimentary to the good and bad things that I, not complimentary to the bad things, but they understood the mistakes that I had made and the issues that I had had, and but also were complimentary on what was done correctly. So Paul's plan was to have 3 or 4 buyers in competing against each other, so to speak, in a couple months, 2 months maybe. I said, and I again, I was ecstatic if that was going to happen. Well, we had that in, again, less than 30 days. So again, very strong presentation of us, very strong presentation of what our requirements were, and then Paul has also assisted on the backside with negotiating with buyers, and then finally with the final buyer, getting the documentation that's required from him and pushing it over the top to move into a close that's 30 days. So again, I can't say enough for the quality, the presentation, and the result that I've experienced. So I would recommend, if you're thinking about selling your business, you would certainly look for Paul Olsen to do that for you, because it's it's a performance-driven world, and performance speaks for itself, and that's the case here. So again, thanks. And there's a couple more points that I want to make. So really, the fact of the sales price. So when I talked to Paul about what I wanted, it was here, and he kind of hoped for it to be here, but Paul was able to negotiate was up here, and not only up here, but in such a shorter time frame than I was ready for. I mean, 30 days. So, and I think that is a result of his ability to negotiate. He's a very aggressive and negotiator as far as the timing of the deal, the cost of the purchase price of the deal. He was able to push buyers to get it done and get it done now, because this opportunity is going to be gone. It's going to be gone. So his ability to negotiate and his ability to push the buyer to the point where the seller, me, is satisfied. I mean, that I found to be extremely valuable. So the experience level to do that is how he earns his commission, because not everybody is going to have the ability to push that envelope and shorten the time frame, and that's exactly what he did. So again, very satisfied.